Hello my dear students, first we will solve some sums based on electric dipole which I gave you in previous video. First numerical, calculate the electric dipole moment of an electron and a proton 4.30 nanometer apart. Electron and proton both are having equal and opposite charges and they are separated by some finite distance, therefore they will create some dipole. If dipole is created and if we have to find its dipole moment, then formula is known to us, that is P is equal to 2a into q. What is 2a? That is the separation between two charges. Separation between two charges is given to us 4.30 nanometer. Nano means 10 raised to minus 9. 4.30 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. Q, that is charge of electron or proton. Magnitude of charge we have to take. So magnitude of charge, that is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 for electron or proton. Substitute Q is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 and 2a is equal to 4.30 into 10 raised to minus 9. You will get this answer, 6.88 into 10 raised to minus 28 coulomb meter. Second numerical, calculate the magnitude of the force due to an electric dipole of dipole moment. Dipole moment is given to us, it means P is given to us on an electron 25 mm from the center. R is given to us 25 nanometer. Along the dipole axis, it means this electron is placed at a point kept on the axis of dipole. Assume that the distance is large relative to the dipole's charge separation. It means here we have to consider this test charge to be very far away from the dipole. If given point is far away from the dipole, then we can use the formula of electric field on the axis, that is Ea is equal to 2 kp upon r cube. K, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9. P, that is dipole moment, given to us 3.6 into 10 raised to minus 29 coulomb meter. R, separation 25 milli. Instead of milli, we have to take nanometer. By mistake I have written 25 millimeter. You have to take 25 nanometer. So R is equal to 25 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter. If you will substitute this value, you will get electric field on the axis of dipole. Now what they are asking us to find, magnitude of force. Force acting on test charge, because electron is test charge and electric field is due to dipole. Source, that is dipole, and electron, that is test charge. So F is equal to Q. Force acting on test charge is given by this formula. Force acting on test charge, value of test charge into electric field. Electric field already we found using this formula 2 kp upon r cube. Substitute the value of electric field. Substitute the value of charge of electron 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. You will get this answer, 6.6 into 10 raised to minus 15 Newton. Important theory of this chapter, behavior of an electric dipole in a uniform electric field. What is the meaning of uniform electric field? Uniform electric field means if value of electric field remains same with time and position, then that field is called uniform. Here, if electric field does not change with position and time, then it will be considered as uniform electric field. To represent this electric field pictorially, we have to draw electric field lines parallel to each other and they should be equidistant. Okay. Yes, space between two consecutive electric field lines should be same. Behavior of an electric dipole in a uniform electric field. We have to place electric dipole in uniform electric field. Suppose we have electric dipole which is prepared by taking two equal and opposite charges minus q and plus q separated by distance 2a, and this electric dipole is kept in electric field E, which makes an angle theta with electric field. Dipole moment, electric dipole moment is from negative charge to positive charge, minus q to plus q, that is p vector. This p vector makes an angle theta with electric field. As shown in figure, consider an electric dipole consisting of charges plus q and minus q and of length 2a placed in a uniform electric field E vector, making an angle theta with it. Here, force acting on plus q charge. Force acting on positive charge is in the direction of electric field, because we know that already we have studied force acting on positive charge is in the direction of electric field and force acting on negative charge is in the direction opposite to electric field. And here this electric field is not due to dipole. This electric field is external electric field. So here we can consider these two charges plus q and minus q as a test charge, because electric field is not due to this plus q and minus q. External electric field we have taken. So these charges are taken as test charge, and force acting on test charge is given by the formula F is equal to QE. This formula is known to us. So force acting on plus Q is QE vector plus QE vector. Plus QE vector means what? Here force and electric field both are in the same direction. Electric field is towards right, then force acting on plus Q is also towards right. Okay. Force acting on minus Q charge. Force acting on minus Q charge is in the direction opposite to electric field. It means here force F vector is equal to minus QE vector. F vector is equal to minus QE vector. Negative sign indicates direction of force is opposite to the direction of electric field. Electric field is towards right and force is towards left. The forces QE vector and minus QE vector are acting on plus Q and minus Q charges respectively. If we find net force acting on the dipole, then that net force F net vector is equal to force acting on plus charge minus force acting on second charge. According to superposition principle, F net is equal to F1 vector plus F2 vector. F1 that is plus QE vector, F2 that is minus QE vector. So net force comes out to be 0 vector. So net force will be 0. If net force acting on any system is 0, it means that system is in translational equilibrium. System is in translational equilibrium. So we can say that when we place dipole in uniform electric field, then it remain in translational equilibrium. Electric field is same, therefore force acting on positive charge and negative charge is same but in opposite direction. Here if we consider lines of action of force, then line of action of force due to positive charge is this, and line of action of force due to negative charge is this. Both are having different lines of action. If both are having different lines of action, it means they are non-collinear forces, and due to non-collinear forces what will be formed? Couple. And when couple is formed, then some torque will be exerted on the system. So here we can say two forces have different lines of action, so they form a couple which exerts a torque. Due to formation of couple, some torque will be exerted on the dipole, and we know the formula of torque acting on a system when couple is formed. So formula of torque is equal to magnitude of either force into perpendicular distance between the two forces. Magnitude of either force, it means here force acting on positive charge or force acting on negative charge you have to consider, but what we have to consider? Magnitude. Magnitude if we consider, then magnitude of both the forces is same, that is QE, into perpendicular distance between two forces. So first we have to find perpendicular distance between two lines of action. Here first line of action is this, second line of action is this. If we have to find perpendicular distance between two forces, then perpendicular distance between two forces is this. Here angle between P vector and E vector is theta, therefore this angle will also be theta. If we consider this triangle, then here this distance between positive charge and negative charge, that is 2a. So component of 2a opposite to theta, that is 2a sin theta. Or if you have to find the value of this side, you can use trigonometry. From that also you will get 2a sin theta. So perpendicular distance between two forces is 2a sin theta. Magnitude of either force, that is QE. So torque acting on the system is given by tau is equal to QE into 2a sin theta. Here we can write this equation as 2a into q, 2a into q E sin theta. But 2a, that is separation between two charges, and q, that is magnitude of charge. Product of magnitude of charge and separation between two charges will give you electric dipole moment P. Therefore instead of 2aq we can write P, because P is equal to 2a into q. So formula of torque tau is equal to Pe sin theta. Sin theta, whenever sin theta is there, it indicates vector product, and we know that torque is vector quantity. So here we can write tau vector is equal to P vector cross E vector. If you remove cross, then it can be written as tau is equal to P sin theta. Magnitude of torque is P sin theta. Tau vector is equal to P vector cross E vector. This is cross product, or it is called vector product. If we have to find the direction of tau, then we have to use right-handed screw rule. Using right-handed screw rule, we can find the direction of torque. Direction of P vector is in this direction. Direction of electric field is in this direction. An angle between them is theta. If we have to find the direction of torque, then using right-handed screw, we have to consider these two vectors in one plane. P vector and E vector. Both are in the plane of figure. They are in the plane of figure. And we have to keep screw perpendicular to this plane. And after that, you have to rotate this screw from first vector towards second vector. P vector towards E vector. If we rotate P vector towards E vector, then this screw advances. It means direction of torque. This is P vector, this is E vector, and direction of torque, tau vector, is inside the plane of figure. Direction of torque is perpendicular to the plane and inside the plane of figure. Using right hand rule also you can find the direction of torque. Just you have to whirl your finger from first vector towards second vector. It means P towards E, and thumb will give you the direction of torque. Using this you can find the direction of vector quantity. The direction of tau vector is perpendicular to and points into the plane of paper. Now we have to understand some special cases. Equilibrium condition. When can we achieve equilibrium condition? If net force and a net torque acting on the system is 0, then the system is said to be in equilibrium. Here net force acting on the system is 0, but net torque acting on the system is not 0. If we want net torque to be 0, then formula of torque tau is equal to Pe sin theta, for which value of theta we will get torque 0. If we take sin 0, then value of sin 0 is 0, then torque comes out to be 0. Or if you take sin 180 that is 0, then torque tau is equal to 0. So for these two angles we can get equilibrium condition. First, that is stable equilibrium condition. If P vector, that is electric dipole moment, and electric field both are in the same direction, then angle between them will be 0. If theta is equal to 0, then according to formula torque tau is equal to P sin theta, sin 0 comes out to be 0, then torque will be 0. Okay. If torque is 0 and force is 0, it means system is in equilibrium condition. But how can we say that the system is in stable equilibrium condition? Stable equilibrium condition means if you try to displace this dipole from this position, then it will regain this position. It means it will come back to this position. It tries to align in the direction of electric field. It means if you slightly displace it, then again it will come back to this position. Here we can consider one example like this. If we consider one bowl, and in that bowl if some small spherical ball is kept, and if you displace this ball from this position, then this ball may move upward in this direction or it may move upward in this direction, but after some time it will come back to this position. This condition is called a stable equilibrium condition. It means if you displace the system from one position and if it regain its position, then that condition is called stable equilibrium condition. Next, that is unstable equilibrium condition. If electric dipole moment and electric field both are in opposite direction, then angle between them will be 180 degree. Theta is equal to 180 degree. Using the formula torque tau is equal to Pe sin 180. Sin 180 that is 0. Therefore torque will be 0 when angle between P and E is 180 degree. So here also net torque is 0, force is 0, it means equilibrium condition. But here if you displace the dipole from this position, then it never comes back to this position. Contrary, it moves in the direction of electric field. It means it will achieve stable equilibrium condition. Like this. If you consider surface like this, and if some spherical ball is kept on this surface, then if you displace the ball, then this ball may move in downward direction like this, but it will never come back to this original position. Therefore this condition is called unstable equilibrium condition. So here if you try to displace the dipole from this condition, right now the dipole is in equilibrium condition, net torque is 0, it will not move. But if you try to move this dipole, then it will never come back to this position. It will move in the direction of electric field. Therefore this condition is called unstable equilibrium condition. Now third condition, that is maximum non-equilibrium condition. If angle between electric dipole moment and electric field is 90 degree, then according to formula tau is equal to Pe sin 90. Sin 90 is having value 1, and that is the maximum value of sin theta. When value of sin theta is maximum, then torque acting on the system will be maximum, that is tau max is equal to Pe. When torque is maximum, then this dipole will not remain in this position. Immediately within a fraction of second it will rotate and it tries to align in the direction of electric field. So we can say that this condition is called non-equilibrium condition. Here torque is not 0, torque is maximum. Maximum torque is there, therefore this condition is called maximum non-equilibrium condition. Now here, if dipole is in stable equilibrium condition, it means electric dipole moment and electric field both are in the same direction, and if we wish to displace it by angle theta, then some external torque we have to apply to rotate it by angle theta. When we rotate it by angle theta, at that time electric field will exert restoring torque. Due to electric field, dipole always try to align in the direction of electric field. So if we want to displace it by angle theta, at that time some work is required to be done on it. Whenever we are doing some work, at that time some energy is spent. Whatever energy is spent, that is stored in the form of potential energy. That is called electrostatic potential energy of dipole. About that we will study in chapter number 2. Electric dipole placed in non-uniform electric field. Electric dipole placed in uniform electric field we have studied. That is the important theory of this chapter. Now we have to study electric dipole placed in non-uniform electric field. If we place electric dipole in non-uniform electric field, non-uniform means value of electric field is not constant. Its value keeps on changing either with position or with time. Here, first case, this is the direction of electric field. This is the direction of decreasing electric field. It means here the electric field is more. As you move in this direction, then electric field goes on decreasing. Initially, suppose the dipole is kept here. This is plus q charge, this is minus q charge, both are separated by some finite distance 2a. And this is the direction of electric dipole moment p vector. Angle between p vector and e vector is theta. First of all, force acting on positive charge, that is F plus vector, and force acting on negative charge, that is F minus vector. Here, this size of arrow indicates strength of electric field. Force acting on plus Q is less. Why? Because we know the formula of force, F is equal to QE. If electric field is more, then force is more. If electric field will be less, then force will be less. Here, as we move in this direction towards right, then electric field goes on decreasing. Therefore, here electric field is less, therefore force is less. Here electric field is more, therefore force acting on negative charge is more. So net force will be in which direction? Towards left, in the direction opposite to electric field. But we know that this electric field exerts torque on this dipole. So initially we can say force is not 0, torque is not 0. Some torque will act on it because there is some angle between P and E. Therefore we know the formula of torque tau is equal to Pe sin theta. So some torque will act on this electric dipole. It means torque is not zero, force is not zero. If these two forces are having same magnitude, then we can say that here net force will be zero, but both are having different magnitude. Therefore, net force is not zero, torque is also not zero initially. But after some time, what will happen? Dipole always tries to align in the direction of electric field. Then after some time, the dipole will align in the direction of electric field. It means P vector and E vector both will be in the same direction. When P and E both are in the same direction, then torque will become zero. So finally torque becomes zero. But what about force? Force acting on positive charge, that is F plus vector. Force acting on negative charge, that is F minus vector. Again, here force at this point is less and force at this point is more, because as we move towards right, then force goes on decreasing. So here force is less, here force is more. Therefore, net force is in this direction, in the direction opposite to electric field, because net force is always towards greater force, and greater force is acting on negative charge. Therefore, net force is in the direction opposite to electric field. In the direction opposite to electric field means net force is in the direction of increase in magnetic field. Increasing electric field. Sorry, magnetic field nahi, electric field. Second case, direction of increasing field. This indicates direction of increasing field. It means here electric field is less, electric field goes on increasing as we move toward right. Once again, the dipole is kept like this. P vector and E vector both are in the same direction. It means torque is zero. Force acting on positive charge is more, force acting on negative charge is less. Therefore, here net force will not be zero. So whenever electric dipole is placed in non-uniform electric field, at that time net force is not zero. When it is placed in uniform electric field, at that time net force is zero. Here net force is not zero. Therefore, this dipole will move in the direction of electric field. Net force is in this direction. Therefore, this dipole will move in the direction of increasing field, in the direction of increasing electric field. Okay, third condition. If dipole is placed like this, in the opposite direction of electric field, minus q plus q, then here force acting on negative charge is in the direction opposite to electric field, that is in this direction. Force acting on positive charge in the direction of electric field, but direction of increasing field is in this direction, towards right. It means here electric field is more, therefore force is more. Here electric field is less, therefore force is less. Force acting on positive charge is less, force acting on negative charge is more. Therefore, net force is in the direction of greater force, that is force in the direction of negative charge. Okay. So, net force is acting in the direction opposite to increasing field when dipole is kept in the direction opposite to electric field. Now, one example I am taking, that is the electric field of a comb. When comb is electrified or charged, then and when we place piece of paper near to it, that is the example of electric dipole placed in non-uniform electric field. We know that whenever we pass comb through dry hair, then it gets electrified or charged due to friction. So here I have shown teeth of comb, and here when we pass comb through dry hair, at that time what happens? Due to friction, this comb gets electrified or charged. Comb receives excess amount of electrons. Therefore, comb is negatively charged. Here, this is the tooth, and this tooth is negatively charged. And we know that direction of electric field due to negative charge is always towards it. Always towards it. Therefore, here this electric field is non-uniform electric field. Here, at the tip of this teeth, charge is more, surface charge density is more, because area is less, charge is more, therefore density is more. As you move in this direction or in this direction, then charge density goes on decreasing, therefore electric field will be non-uniform electric field. When we keep piece of paper near to it, initially piece of paper is electrically neutral, there isn't any dipole. But when we place it in non-uniform electric field, then what will happen? The negative charges will experience force in the direction opposite to electric field. This negative charge will exert repulsive force on electrons. So these electrons will get repelled from this end of the piece of paper. After losing electrons, this end of the piece of paper will become positively charged and this is negatively charged. It means positive and negative charges are separated by finite distance. If positive and negative charge equal and opposite charges are separated by finite distance, then dipole will be created. Here this dipole is called induced dipole. Why it is called induced dipole? Because here initially dipole was not created. When we place it in non-uniform electric field, at that time electrons are moving in the opposite direction, and by losing electrons this end becomes positively charged, this end becomes negative charge, and dipole is created, dipole is induced. Therefore this dipole moment is called induced dipole moment. Now here this piece of paper will move towards cone. How? Because here electric field is more, therefore force on positive charge is more. Which type of force will act? Attractive force. And on negative charge which type of force will act? Repulsive force. But repulsive force is less and attractive force is more, because here distance is less, force will be more, distance is more, force will be less. So force on negative charge is less, force on positive charge is more, therefore this dipole will move towards comb. This way comb attracts pieces of paper. I hope this topic will be very clear to you. In next lecture we will discuss about continuous charge distribution. Thank you.